Hello, today we're gonna take a look at the very first implementation of player's character, and we're gonna check some of the optimization I implemented recently to achieve an acceptable frame rate at this stage. Welcome to Coding Mojo. So I wanted to experiment the performance feeling during gameplay. I added this demo character with basic controls. I can move freely on the map and it will validate if the movement is allowed based on the grid. As a result, the character cannot move on water tiles and can only climb or go down of one tile height at a time. Here, you can see the profiler and check the performance as I move on the map. The current display is composed of 9 zones, each containing 8,000 tiles. You can see as the character moves from one zone to another, the loading taking effect. This does not affect my control experience, which was the goal of my recent optimization. I build cubes only on these 9 zones you can see, but the system is actually always loading 9 zones around the player. There is zone you can't see because they are simply full of air-typed tile. We can see the spikes when loading in the profiler, but they don't seem to reduce the FPS so hardly. I wonder if I should evade any kind of spikes and get a consistent frame rate, or if it's okay in this kind of case. The first time I checked for my frame rate was kinda a sad moment, as I realized it only hit about 15 FPS during the game loop, and even worse when moving from one zone to another. So if you're interested on how I did get from 15 to more than 100 frames per second, here is the most significant change I did. My first step was to reduce the number of tiles displayed on screen. For example, non-visible type like air don't need any display. If tile is visible, I then check if it's hidden by other blocks. Here, I check the neighbor one after another. Doing this check for few tiles is not so costly, but as this happened for all 8,000 tiles when loading a zone, I break as soon as I found that the tile is not fully hidden to evade any unnecessary process. At this point, the draw calls were still an issue due to shadow casting. In order to improve draw calls, I implemented the mesh combination. The idea is to not display each tile individually, but instead combine them in a bigger mesh, so it's considered as a single entity and a single shadow caster. I first combined together all mesh with the same material. But because combined mesh can contain at best a bit more than 65,000 vertices, I had to modify my logic so a new combined mesh is created every time I reach the limit. Another high-impact update concerns the multi-threading. I did not propagate this change too much so far, as it can turn pretty complex as soon as you handle game objects. But I updated my save system to use it, and must say it freed a good amount of resources when loading zone on the fly. Finally, using the profiler, I was surprised to discover how costly lists were in my own case. I'm in the process of replacing them with built-in arrays and already noticed a high impact. So that's all for today, hope you enjoyed. Your comments and critiques are welcome in the comment section. If you would like to support this project, consider subscribing to the channel and take a look to my Tipeee page in description. See ya!